Welcome to Leading the Follower with your host, Rebecca Benston. Good morning, and it is me, Rebecca Benston, back for Leading the Follower. I am just going to do a really short podcast today because I kind of ran out of time. I had a very, very busy weekend with trying to get things ready for this week and just all of the things that come with our December calendar for Higher Ground Books and Media. Usually keeps me in constant motion during the whole month. But I did have time yesterday to disconnect a little bit and go and see a movie. And I talked about that a little bit on the blog for Leading the Follower. And I wanted to share a little bit. I was going to write an additional blog post, and I may still do that just with a full review of the movie. But I wanted to share a little bit about my take on the movie and what I took away from it, how I thought it went over. I know a lot of people have said that it wasn't very good, but they are wrong. They are mistaken. I thought it was really well done, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it right now. Yesterday, my family and I went to see the movie The Shift, and that is a science fiction style movie based on explaining the story of Job from the Bible. And I wasn't really sure what I was kind of walking into with that and what kind of craziness we might get into, because anytime you look at science fiction, there are usually a lot of themes in there that Christians don't agree with, and in this particular movie, one of those themes was like a multiverse type setting. I know a lot of people think that that's not very uh, godly in nature, but I would have to disagree, because I think there's really nothing God can't do, and if He can do one version of us, why couldn't He do more than one? So, not saying that's the basis of my belief. My belief comes from the Bible, of course, and everything biblical. However, there are many interpretations of what's in there, and this is just um, a fictional depiction of what it could be like in modern times if those things were real. That's science fiction. So I thought they did a very good job of explaining the concepts that are laid out in the book of Job in the Bible, and that really, for people who have difficulty understanding how the Bible is written, how it's laid out, all the different literary devices that are used throughout the Bible, and people who tend to take it all word for word literal, like it's not, filled with, allegory and metaphors and all those things. I feel like this would be a good movie for people to see, just to get a solid idea of how the struggle works, because it does explain that. And the main characters in this, I can't pronounce the main guy's name, so I'm gonna try not to butcher it, but I probably will. His name is Kristoffer Polaha, whatever. Um, I can't tell you how that is pronounced, and I can't seem to find a pronunciation for that. So, um, anyway, I had never really seen him in anything, and I think he did a fair job of representing Job, as his main character was the Job character, and an excellent performance by Neal McDonough, who portrayed the benefactor, who was in fact Satan. Um, this guy really, I believe, knocked it out of the park. He really did a great job with the portrayal of how we might envision Satan to be in his weakness, and in his delusions of strength, and how he tries to trick people into believing that aligning with him is going to be in their best interests. And from the very first time you meet him, you realize the dynamic of the relationship that you're going to have with Satan is he's basically going to slap you around and then tell you that being with him is good for you. And very, very strong performance by both of those guys. Sean Astin was also in the movie as his character's name was Gabriel, and he was one of the I'm guessing one of the advisors to Job, someone that he confided in about things, and he played a very very interesting role. Um, and it was a very enjoyable movie in terms of the level of action and the way the theme worked together, and it just really I was surprised at how well they pulled this off. I thought they did a fantastic job, and I almost want to see it again just so I can see if I missed anything, because there was a lot going on, and a lot of concepts that are kind of difficult to wrap your mind around. But I think, in spite of all that, they did manage to merge um, the science fiction aspect with the biblical aspect very well. So I would highly recommend that you go see this if it's available in your city. And, I'd like to hear what other people think of it as well. Um, you know, it's not going to hit everybody the same way. And I happen to be a big fan of science fiction. That's my favorite movie genre. Most of my favorite movies are science fiction in some way or another. I love to write science fiction. Um, so, of course, this type of a version of a biblical story would speak to me differently than it would for someone who really doesn't like science fiction. So keep that in mind and try to draw out the underlying themes and see how you feel that those were covered when you watch this, and watch it with an open mind. I don't think it was. It, I heard people say it was satanic and things like that. Trust me, I have a radar on for those things, and I did not see that. Just because the guy portrays the devil so well, that's the point, is for people to see how the devil works and to see it in a form that they might be able to relate to, so that they can have um, a good picture of what they might want to be looking for in their interactions. Because sometimes, well, most of the time when the devil appears in our lives, he's not going to look like a little red guy with a pitchfork. He's going to look like, the opportunity that we've been waiting for. He's going to look like everything that we've asked for. And sometimes we even mistake him for a blessing that we've asked God for, but it's not necessarily the right thing. So, because the devil is sneaky, and he likes to convince us that what he has for us is much better than anything God could provide. He spent the whole movie, just like in the book of Job, trying to convince Job that God was not on his side and that he wouldn't be with him through this and that, and that he needed to just, stop wanting God's attention and stop believing in God so much. And it was it was very accurate in terms of how the devil works. So with that, I'm gonna close this episode, and I will be back on Friday with a little bit more to say about this movie and about some of the other things that Angel Studios, who produced this movie, has in the wings. played a few previews that I thought were interesting, so I might talk about some of that. And of course, they are the ones that had the Sound of Freedom movie out not too long ago, which was also an excellent movie. So if you have an opportunity to see that one as well, make sure you do that. But have a good rest of your week. I know this is just Monday, so see what you can do, and God bless you. Thanks for stopping in. Be sure to stop by the blog and subscribe at www.leading-the-follower.com. And if you have time, stop over at www.highergroundbooksandmedia.com and subscribe there. Take a look at our collection of books, inspirational, educational, and motivational books to empower you in your walk with Jesus. And we have lots of things going on. As I said, I'll talk a little bit more about that on Friday. Have a great week. Thanks for stopping by. Be sure to check out our website and blog. The blog is at www.leading-the-follower.com. Thanks and God bless.